Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the greenhouse. So today I've got a couple of bits and bobs to plant. So I'm planning to start my sweet corn off and what I'm going to be planting those off in is some root trainers, which I'm sure many of you have seen before. So I'm going to get on with doing that now. So I'm sure most of you are aware of what root trainers are. The only ones I've ever found are made by a company called Hanix. Look like this. They do also have a plastic sort of see-through dome that goes on top, but what I like about these is you can grow some really decent roots and then remove them from the pots without damaging them. So you get lots of modules like this. This one has 32 seed spaces in total. I think you can get some which are slightly bigger that have 28, but obviously each individual plant's a bit bigger. So with these little things, they open up so that once you've filled them with soil, you've grown your roots, this essentially gets filled with roots, so you've got a decent root ball. And where you've got the little holes at the bottom, the roots kind of get pinched off by the air, and that leaves you with a nice solid root growth that you can just pull out. Well, you don't even need to pull out, you just kind of take them out and place them straight in your hole in the ground. I've used these for beans before and they've always done really well. So I'm going to try doing sweet corn in them this time. I actually watched one of Tony C. Smith's videos earlier and he's doing exactly the same. So it'll be interesting to see what results we both get. Here we go. So I've got some compost in all of those. It really looks a bit messy at the moment, but I'll tidy it up once I've planted. So the sweet corn that I've got to grow this time around is from Wilkinson's. It's Incredible F1, which I've heard good things about in the past, but I've not grown this particular one myself. I think I grew Swift before, which was decent. This just happens to be the ones that Wilkinson's had at the time. I do have some others that I got with a magazine that I will probably plant a bit later on. The plan with that being that I don't necessarily want all of my sweet corn to be ready at the same time. So if I have a couple of weeks gap between planting sweet corn, hopefully we'll have a couple of weeks between sweet corn being ready. So let's get all these planted. Right, let's open these up. Now I know a lot of people with sweet corn and other things like peas, etc, will soak them first, just to kind of loosen up the outer layer, make them nice and soft, let them take on some water. I'm not going to do that. I have done it in the past and I didn't actually find any massive benefit to it at all. The ones that I've not soaked have done just as well. So what I'm going to do is start by popping one of these into each of these modules. I'm not 100% sure how many are in this pack. I didn't actually look. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them one in each of these to start with, and any left over I'll just double up and add an extra one in to the already filled modules. Some of these are deeper than others. That may well affect them, I'm not 100% sure. But the compost that I've got is fairly wet. It had been out in a bag outside, which had got wet and has obviously soaked up a lot of the moisture. So it does make it a bit difficult to get an exact amount in. So I've got a few extra ones spare, so I'm just going to dot them about. Randomly. Okay, so that is those seeds all in. What I am going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of the compost over them. Just tamp them all down when I have. Just want to make sure that each seed is well in contact with the compost. Now, one of the reasons I picked these Incredibles, they're described as being quite a vigorous variety. So on the pack it says they're a vigorous hybrid variety with good resistance to disease, produces very sweet cobs, perfect for picking and eating fresh from the garden, which to me sounds perfect. Lovely sweet cobs, vigorous, disease resistant, and hopefully we'll get some decent cobs out of them. So the other ones I'm going to sow are a different variety, again, that I've never had, but they came through the magazine. So I will give those a try a bit later on as well. And we can, as with most people, see the ones that we like, see the ones that we don't like so well, the ones that grow better, the ones that don't grow so well. And then for next year, we can make our decision which variety we prefer and which one we would grow more of instead. Right, so that is them all planted. So the next thing that I've got to plant up is the courgettes. You may remember I had the little tomato plants that I got for 25p. I had a courgette one as well. So these have been in there a few weeks and they've now got to the sort of size where they're a bit too big to stand up on their own. And if you can see underneath, the roots got a bit mad. So I need to try and separate these if I can. And what I'm going to do is pop them up individually into these. They're actually net pots. I'm going to try these. I didn't have any other size pots here, but also aero pots, or air pots even, have a similar design. Admittedly, the holes go into the soil a bit more in an air pot, but it should be an interesting thing to do, see if these give a bit better growth. And the soil in there is a mixture of coir, vermiculite, multi-purpose, and I've got some fertilizer balls in there as well. So I'm just going to try and split all of these up now. So I'm just going to loosely tease them all apart. I mean, some of the roots on them are actually pretty incredible, really. So out of that 25p, we've got 7 decent plants. So I'm just going to lay them out in the little tray. I'm going to collect up all of this coir. And I'm just going to sweep that off into my little trug of compost. Right, so the plan now is to get them all planted. So all I'm going to do is a little dip in the middle, help some of the roots down. I'm just going to surround them with a bit of compost, firm them in. And what I will probably do is stake them up a little bit as well, just because obviously they are rather big. And that is those courgettes planted. Obviously this is probably way more courgettes than I need, but we'll see how they go, and I may well give them away, or I don't know, start some sort of cute courgette business, I guess. So that's everything that I was going to plant up today into those pots. So we've got the root trainers with the Sweetcorn Incredible F1, new one that I've not tried before. We'll see how that goes. And that's also the Mr. Fothergill's sort of planting set courgettes potted up. So hopefully before long we'll be planting those out down the allotment. I'm going to do a little bit more filming today if time permits. I'm going to look at sorting my peas out, but that's a bit more of a project, and rather than having a really long video, I'm going to do 2 reasonable sized videos. So I will catch you in the next video. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. So thanks for watching. Take care. Happy allotmenting.